So I'm really excited today. I'm gonna make my first recipe video. I've got a little ghetto rig here with my computer on top of like some art supplies and some books, and hopefully this will do and you'll be able to see what I'm doing here. I do realize my head is cut off, so sorry about that. I'm definitely going to be looking into buying a tripod and a nice camera so I can actually start making some higher quality videos as well as learn how to edit and stuff like that. Although I think there really is something to more of a stream of consciousness, unedited, kind of raw, right? Raw food, raw life kind of approach to being spontaneous and just sharing that way. So thank you for watching. Today we're going to be making sauerkraut, which is one of my favorite ferments. I've definitely been drawn to fermented foods, to the probiotics, to healing my digestive tract, and fortunately I have finally acquired the skill of making my own kraut. As I talked about in my video, Sauerkraut Revelations, that was my first time actually making it correctly, and I was plagued by some self-doubt actually about that. I thought I had screwed up somehow because I was smelling them and I tasted it and it didn't taste quite the same as I thought it should taste. But so to make sure, before I threw them all out, because I was about to throw them all out, I got some kraut from Jason and Kathy Coates, who sell it here in Terre Haute, and they make delicious kraut and kimchi and other ferments. And I tasted theirs, and mine tasted like very similar, if not, the same, except mine I had actually massaged so much that it was so moist and the brine was so delicious. So I think mine is my favorite kraut I've ever had, right? I mean, I put my own love and my own gratitude into that, and I think that really shines. But I also came up with this technique at massaging it. I was fortunate enough to attend a kraut making workshop during my retreat in Hawaii, and they really emphasize like the massage part and chopping it really thinly. So without further ado, here's some organic cabbage. I have 2 heads here. That's what I'm going to start with. First, I am going to cut off these outer leaves. And sorry if it sounds like a dog's dying in the background. Ranger is like coughing up a fur ball or something over there. The dogs are a little stressed out right now because we've had some people over to look at furniture, and I've actually sold some pieces of furniture. So I'm very, very excited about that. I've just been keeping them in the garage when I have people over though, so they're not like jumping all over them and everything like that. Not everyone's a dog person, although the people who have come over have been so amazing. I feel really lucky. So these outer leaves you want to just kind of keep and set aside, because we'll actually fold those up and place it on top of the kraut in the jar to make sure this very finely sliced kraut is pushed down all the way and actually submerged in the brine. So with this, I have a really sharp, amazing knife that my dad got me for Christmas. He is a physician and a surgeon and really has always been into knives, and it's definitely beneficial on a raw vegan lifestyle to have some sharp knives for cutting your greens and everything like that. And I'm slicing this cabbage really as thinly as I possibly can. again, so the sharp knife is really, really helpful with that. And I do recommend everyone buy definitely locally grown organic cabbage when possible. This I got from Kroger. It's kind of the best of what is available right now. I can get Napa cabbage fresh, but I don't know. I haven't tried Kraut with that yet. So green cabbage from Kroger is gonna be my thing. And I feel like any life and vitality, it's lost from the whole, large scale farming and transportation and chilling out at the supermarket. We're gonna put some life right back into it, right? The amazing organisms that are gonna grow and ferment, really gonna revitalize and re-energize this food and turn it into something completely different. So that is very, very exciting. So this is a really simple process. Basically, all you do is you chop all this up very finely. You need a big bowl on hand, as well as some sea salt. That's actually the method I'll be using today. You can also make sauerkraut and fermented or cultured vegetables using a starter, some kind of probiotic starter, but I've never made it that way, and that requires, finding that starter, which I'm sure is available on Amazon, and I don't think it's too expensive or anything, but the sea salt is just so easy. And I'm not gonna lie, I like salt, okay? A little bit here and there. I do like having some in my diet. I think right now I'm still going pretty strong with the whole juicing most of my meals, blending fresh citrus juice with a lot of frozen fruit, which again I know isn't ideal because it's not fresh, but it's what I've got here, it's what's available, and I feel pretty freaking fantastic, so no complaints there. So I get my sweet, definitely my fix throughout the day. Totally carved up, feeling amazing, ready to go, more energy than I know what to do with. Which is a good thing because I have so much going on right now. But in the evening, I have not been having salad because, again, I just really want to ease make my digestion as easy as possible. Give my digestive system a break to really snap into self-healing mode. And I'm pretty sure I'm there. So in the evening, to kind of satisfy that desire for something more savory, I have been eating some of my sauerkraut. And as I was learning about yesterday, and I've read about before, mame or something like that is our sixth. Maybe it's our sixth. It's the additional taste. So we have salty, sweet, sour. The others are escaping me. Bitter. And mame is like our fifth or sixth one. And it's the taste that's in meat and animal products and fermented foods like soy sauce, as well as all your fermented veggies, cultured veggies. And so it hits the salt, because again, I'm making the kraut with salt. And it hits your tangy, your sour, which I really like too. And it's so awesome because at the end of the day, I have my fruit smoothie juice concoction or soup or whatever, and I just finished it off with some kraut, and it's like I'm a happy camper. I'm totally satisfied. And that's really easy. And this way of eating right now is so inexpensive. It's awesome. I really didn't think being raw in the winter would be so easy, but it is. I'm fortunate enough to have or be, personal friends with a great orange dealer. So I've been getting fresh citrus, a whole box for like $23, which can last me several days. And the frozen fruit has been really amazing at Kroger, believe it or not. So I'm not going to chop up all this cabbage because I just realized this bowl is probably too full. Just grabbing another bowl here because I don't want to overwhelm myself with the massage part. So take some of this out. And for the massaging of the kraut, the cabbage, you can do any number of things, right? So you can do this kind of traditional massage technique. You can do a little punching, really take out your aggression on the kraut. So I usually been starting out doing this kind of thing. And it's good. It's like increasing my hand coordination or something right now. I'm getting a little workout in. But it's also nice because, I'm interacting with food on a very intimate level. But the trick I was telling you about, alluding to earlier, is I have a large and a small Vitamix blender, like top portion, this kind of thing. So I have 2 little plungers, and can do this kind of thing, which I find really easy. And last time I made kraut, my thumb was really badly cut, so playing with salty cabbage with a pretty deep cut, I think I nicked a vein, not fun. So you do want to salt this a little bit. How much? I can't really say. Just add a little bit, a few shakes, and keep massaging or punching or doing whatever you want to do. Because the idea here is the salt's going to draw the water out of the cabbage, because cabbage, like all other fruits and veggies, contains a high percentage of water. And this is just going to draw that living water, that beautiful, nutrient-rich water out that's going to create the brine that the kraut ferments in. But yeah, it's a little physical. So yeah, this is a great method if you're wounded. Yeah, that really broke it down a lot. Or if you don't have much hand strength, that's kind of the way to go. I've also read recipes where you can just stick this in a food processor and let it chop it for you. And I tried that a few weeks ago. And I think it worked, but I had added way too much salt, so it was super nasty. Too much salt for me. I mean, some people might have liked it. I don't know. But yeah, you want it to be dripping, which this isn't quite there yet. So I will continue massaging. Yeah. And so it's nice because you massage it until your hands hurt and then give them a little break. And go with the plunger technique. And put these babies to use. I've always had weak digestion. I have a history of disordered eating, laxative abuse, alcohol abuse, eating all the wrong foods, eating a lot of dairy, and I've always been lactose intolerant too, so really doing a lot of damage. Smoking cigarettes, I mean, you name it. If it's harmful, I've probably either done it or toyed with the idea of doing it. So my digestion has always been, on that physical dimension, compromised, as well as I've always been this kind of like anal retentive, control freak, internalize all my emotions kind of gal, which obviously is going to wreak havoc on my digestive tract. I'm not letting my message out or my truth out, speaking my truth. And elimination and everything else is going to be problematic, I believe, when you have those sorts of issues. So probiotics, I think, we're not quite there, was a natural source of, it attracted me very, very naturally. And I encourage, people to try it. If they've ever had kraut before, they've kind of liked it. Fresh kraut is so much better. If it's at a store and it's not refrigerated, it's not kraut. I mean, it's not alive. You might get that somewhat of a tangy, delicious flavor. But in terms of being a living food with the microorganisms that are actually going to be beneficial to repopulating your gut, it's not going to have that. So yeah, it might taste good with your wiener or your sausage or whatever people traditionally eat kraut with on hot dogs. That's what I've been asked before at health food stores when I'm buying a bunch of kraut. How are you eating a bunch of hot dogs? And I'm like, no, I can't say I am. I'm vegan, and I'm a vegan who happens to not enjoy fake hot dogs. But yeah, you don't need to eat hot dogs or even vegan hot dogs to enjoy kraut. You get hardcore enough and you eat it straight out of the jar. Here we go. Some water's coming out. That's perfect. But it tastes great on salad. Or really anything that you like that's savory. Or you can just kind of take it like a supplement and, eat a tablespoon a day or however much you find that your body asks for and doesn't give you any adverse effects. But kraut is something I would definitely recommend easing into. You don't want to I don't think you'd probably be able to stomach it anyway, but, don't go for it and eat a whole jar if you've never had it before. You are likely to have some intestinal unrest and probably diarrhea, or I'm not sure, but it's not something I would recommend, going for in that way. All right, we're watery. We're pretty watery here. That's pretty good. I'm so excited and happy, that I actually You know, I doubted myself with my last batch of kraut, but it turned out so tasty. And like I said, better than any I've had before. And I realized I'm totally biased. But what that says to you, though, is that you might make kraut for yourself that's better than any you've ever tasted in your life. And that's pretty freaking exciting. And you can make it way cheaper than you can buy it at a store. You know, you can buy a jar this big for $8, $9, $10. And in town locally, it might be $10, $8 to $10 for a jar that's not even that big. But the cabbage, I think, was 99, the organic cabbage, 99 cents a pound at Kroger. And the salt, again, it's not like top quality. I just got it at Kroger. I would tend to order a nicer sea salt. Recommend that to everyone, like Redmond or something like that. But I didn't feel like doing that, so I got, there we go. That's what you want to see. All right. Now what we're going to do is I've got a jar here. Here, we'll do this jar. This is an old kraut jar. It was not refrigerated at the store, but I got it anyway because I was jonesing for that. The kraut flavor. It was a little emotional eating type buy. It's like, I don't care if it's raw or not. I want it. I want to eat it all because I want salt. So you want to press it down really firm, layer by layer, as you add it to the jar. Because again, you want the cabbage to be submerged in the brine. So again, this is where these things come in really handy. And just, this is where it gets really messy. I mean, this whole process is kind of messy. That's the fun of it, right? Why have a kitchen if you can't make a mess in it and be like a little kid? But yeah, push it down really good. Yeah, beautiful. It's gonna be so good. And you saw how much salt I added. Not really even that much. You really don't need that much to make a good brine. So definitely be more on the conservative side, especially if you're someone who eats a fairly low sodium diet. Because otherwise, you could pull a me and make it way salty, way nasty. And you have to throw out all that gorgeous, you know, cabbage and labor, that time you spent with the food. Can't eat it. So yeah, I'm just going to add the last bit of it here. And the kind of jar you use, I don't think really matters. I would think glass is definitely going to be your best bet. I mean, size-wise, it doesn't matter. However much kraut you want to make, try to find a jar that size. You do want some room at the top. In this one, I'm really going to push it down good and make sure we have some space. You can even leave more space that I'm leaving here if you wanted to, but this is about how much space I left last time, and things were just dandy, so I'm not questioning it. My intuition here. But yeah, you can kind of see how it's like foamy at the top and definitely very liquidy. So that liquid, when I push down, is really coming up. That brine is going to be so tasty. Tasty kraut for my tummy. Doing good things for my body. And all those microorganisms that keep everything in me going. That's why kraut is an opportunity to give back to those microorganisms that, you know, they're doing so much for us all the time. that we're not even consciously aware of, right? They outpopulate even our human cells, right? How amazing. We're more them than we are us. I mean, that just really points to the interconnectedness of the universe and how, we are so intricately interrelated, fundamentally connected, symbiotic in nature, depending on each other for survival. Our guts house them. They provide these organisms with the perfect conditions in which to live, assuming we're kind to them. And they shape our experience, our perception of reality, our mental and physical and spiritual ecosystems as well. That's why I really think you change your diet, adopt more of a whole foods, plant-based lifestyle, and you have a sense of calm. And I think at the physiological level, you're changing your gut bacteria. You're changing what, again, we have more of than we even have human cells. So when you're changing that, of course, it's going to entail this radical transformation that transcends just the physical level. I think that is really, really amazing. You feel better not just because you're freeing yourself of the guilt from consuming animals and because you're adding in a lot more vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, phytochemicals from the fresh fruits and vegetables you're eating, and you're avoiding, harmful products such as dairy and meat and fish and all that toxic garbage. You're changing the very constitution of the essence of your being, right? The gut-brain barrier, the link between the gut and the brain is really, really profound and really real. So it's definitely good to do something positive for your gut bacteria, to give a little love back, and to say, in your own way, hey, here's some friends to help you out. Hope you guys get along really well, and that we can coexist together in peace and harmony. So what I've done here is I've taken those outer leaves and really smushed them down very good, making sure that, if you see here, if I squish down, that brine is coming above. So it's definitely all liquid rich in here where the kraut is. And definitely encourage you to save any jars you have, and you can reuse them making your own kraut. So what I would do now is seal this. And in Terre Haute, Indiana, right now fermentation, I let my last ones go for a couple weeks because it is so cold here. It's really going to depend on the humidity and the temperature where you're living, how long it takes to ferment. But all you do is, you set it somewhere. I put it in my pantry right there, let it sit, and check on it. You can open it up and press down those top leaves to make sure, again, the kraut is fully submerged in the brine. Last time I made it, I don't think I even checked on it every day. I just kind of let it sit. So you don't have to be super disciplined about that or anything. But if you're making it for the first time, it might be fun to check on it every day. So that's that for the kraut. Look forward to maybe an upcoming kombucha video, because my kombucha has been fermenting since January 17th, the day I took a workshop on how to make it. And I've looked, I have 2 scobies in there because the first one was inactive and seemed to be dead. But they have risen and there's some activity, there's some fermentation definitely going on. So really look forward to seeing how that goes and starting that secondary ferment sometime soon. So much love and peace to you, my friend. I hope you will make some sauerkraut, and let me know in the comments any tips or tricks you know on how to make sauerkraut, maybe how it's benefited you. And if you are inspired to make some, definitely share how it goes with me. I hope you have a wonderful day.